Have you ever held a piece of history in your hand? A small, round piece of metal, worn smooth by the passage of time. Coins are more than just money. They are tiny storytellers. They whisper tales of ancient kings and forgotten empires. They speak of long journeys across vast deserts and wide oceans. Each scratch and mark on their surface is a word in a secret language. These coins have seen worlds rise and fall. They have passed through the hands of merchants, sailors, and rulers. And in the tiny nation of Qatar, these small metal discs hold a particularly magical story. A story of survival, change, and incredible wealth. Imagine a desert landscape where the sun beats down on endless dunes of sand. It seems quiet, almost empty. But, beneath the surface, hidden for centuries, lie treasures. These treasures are not glittering jewels or chests of gold in the way we often imagine. They are coins. Rare coins from Qatar tell a breathtaking story. They show us how a small community of pearl divers and fishermen grew into one of the most remarkable nations on Earth. Following the journey of these coins is like following a map through time, leading us to understand the very heart of this fascinating land, and its resilient people. The allure of a rare coin is powerful. It connects us directly to the past. When you hold a coin that was minted 1,000 years ago, you are touching something that a person from a completely different era also touched. It is a physical link to their world, their beliefs, and their daily lives. For Qatar, a nation with a rich and complex history, these coins are especially precious. They're tangible evidence of its long and important role as a crossroads of trade and culture. They are miniature monuments, each one celebrating a moment in the grand, unfolding drama of human history in this unique corner of the world. This journey we are about to embark upon is one of discovery. We will travel back through the centuries, guided by these small, metallic witnesses. We will explore the earliest forms of currency that reached Qatar's shores, and see how the designs and metals changed with each new chapter of its history. We will uncover stories of legendary coins, so rare that finding one is like finding a lost treasure. This is not just a story about money, it is a story about identity, heritage, and the enduring spirit of a nation, all captured in the beautiful and intricate world of Qatar's rare coins. To understand the story of Qatar's coins, we must first understand Qatar itself. Picture a small peninsula, a finger of land pointing out from the vast Arabian Peninsula into the turquoise waters of the Arabian Gulf. For much of its history, Qatar was a land defined by two great forces: the harsh, beautiful desert, and the bountiful, life-giving sea. This unique location made it a natural hub for people traveling between great civilizations. Sailors from Mesopotamia, Persia, and India would stop here. Their ships brought not just goods like spices and silks, but also new ideas and, importantly, their money. This strategic position is the key to why Qatar's numismatic history, the study of its coins, is so special. It was never truly isolated. It was a melting pot, a place where different cultures met and mixed. The coins found here are a testament to this constant flow of people and power. They are not just from one kingdom or one empire. Instead, they form a diverse collection from across the ancient and medieval world. Each coin tells of a different visitor, a different ruler, a different influence that left its mark on this small stretch of sand and sea, contributing a small piece to the puzzle of Qatar's past. For centuries, the people of Qatar were masters of the sea. They were skilled pearl divers, venturing into the depths of the Gulf to find lustrous treasures that were desired by royalty across the globe. They were also traders, their wooden dhows sailing the ancient maritime routes. This life of trade meant they were constantly dealing with different currencies. A Qatari merchant in the 18th century might have had coins from the Ottoman Empire, Persia, India, and even European nations in his pouch. This constant interaction with foreign money shaped the region's economy and its own eventual journey toward creating a currency of its own. Therefore, the story of Qatari coins is not a simple, linear tale. It is a complex tapestry woven from many different threads. It reflects the nation's history as a place of connection, a bridge between East and West. The coins buried beneath its sands or found in the holds of sunken ships are like a library of the region's economic and political history. They show us who was powerful, who was trading, and how this small peninsula was always connected to the great movements of world history, long before it became known for its vast energy reserves. The sea and the sand were its first treasures, and the coins tell their story. The story of coins in Qatar begins long, long ago, even before there was a place called Qatar. In ancient times, the land was inhabited by nomadic tribes, but it was also visited by the world's great powers. The earliest coins found in the region date back more than 2,000 years, to the time of Alexander the Great. His vast empire stretched from Greece all the way to India. His silver coins, known as drachms, featured the image of the hero Heracles. These coins traveled with his armies and with the merchants who followed them, spreading throughout the known world, and some found their way to the shores of the Arabian Gulf. Following the Greeks, other empires left their monetary footprints on the sands of Qatar. One of the most significant was the Sasanian Empire, a powerful Persian dynasty that controlled the Gulf for centuries. Their coins were distinctive, made of silver and featuring a portrait of their king on one side, and a Zoroastrian fire altar, with two attendants on the other. These Sasanian dirhams became a common currency in the region. Finding one of these coins in Qatar today is like uncovering a direct link to this powerful empire and its influence over the trade routes that passed through the area, connecting Persia to the wider world. With the rise of Islam in the 7th century, the nature of coinage in the region changed dramatically. The new Islamic caliphates began to mint their own coins, which were different from anything that had come before. Instead of pictures of rulers or gods, these coins were decorated with calligraphy. They carried verses from the Quran and stated the name of the ruler and the place where the coin was made. These Islamic dinars and dirhams spread rapidly with the expansion of the faith and trade. They became the dominant currency in Qatar and across the Middle East for hundreds of years, a symbol of a new era of shared faith and culture. Another fascinating group of early coins found in Qatar are the so-called Abbasid coins from the powerful dynasty that ruled from Baghdad. However, local rulers in the eastern Arabian region, known as the Emirs of Al-Hassa, also minted their own unique coins in a similar style. These coins are extremely rare and are a source of great excitement for collectors. They show that even in these early times, local leaders in the region were asserting their own identity and independence. These coins are not just copies, they are a declaration, a small but powerful statement of local power and control in a world of vast empires. As centuries passed, the coins used in Qatar continued to reflect the shifting tides of power in the Arabian Gulf. After the great Islamic caliphates, a series of local and regional powers rose and fell. One interesting and mysterious series of coins found in Qatar comes from the 15th and 16th centuries. These are long, thin silver coins known as laren. They look more like a bent piece of wire than a typical round coin. They were minted in the town of Lar in Persia, and became an incredibly popular trade currency throughout the Indian Ocean, from the Gulf to Sri Lanka. Their unique shape made them easy to string together and carry securely. The arrival of European powers in the 16th century marked another major turning point. The Portuguese were the first to arrive, seeking to control the lucrative spice trade routes. They built forts along the coast of the Gulf, and their currency began to circulate alongside the local coins. Later, the Dutch and the British followed. The most famous and widely used European coin of this era was the Maria Theresa thaler. This large, beautiful silver coin, first minted in Austria in 1780, became so trusted for its purity and weight that it was used as the primary trade currency in much of the Middle East, including Qatar, for almost 200 years. In the 19th century, the Ottoman Empire extended its influence over the Arabian Peninsula. As a result, Ottoman currency began to circulate more widely in Qatar. The Ottoman kurush and para, in various metal denominations, were used for daily transactions. However, the region's economy was still a complex mix. A merchant in the souks of Doha or Al-Waqra would still be using a combination of Ottoman coins, Persian crowns, Indian rupees, and the ever-present Maria Theresa thaler. This monetary mix-up shows just how connected Qatar was, situated at the heart of a bustling international maritime economy long before the discovery of oil. The biggest change came in the 20th century. After World War I, Ottoman influence faded, and British influence grew stronger. The Indian rupee, linked to the British Empire, became the official currency of Qatar and other Gulf states. This was a crucial step towards modernizing the economy. For the first time, there was a single standardized currency for official transactions. This period, known as the era of the Gulf rupee, lasted until the 1960s. The coins and notes from this time are highly collectible today, as they represent the final monetary chapter before Qatar took control of its own destiny. Within the long history of Qatar's currency, some coins really stand out as true legends. They're exceptionally rare, historically significant, or just surrounded by these fascinating stories. One of the most sought after is the coin of Hajar. These are extremely rare silver and copper coins, minted in Eastern Arabia during the early Abbasid period, so like around the 8th or 9th century. They're actually some of the earliest Islamic coins minted in the Gulf region. What makes them legendary is not just their scarcity, but also the mystery surrounding the exact location of Hajar, the mint town. Finding one is honestly the dream of every collector of Arabian coins, since it represents a tangible piece of the region's early Islamic identity. Another legendary piece is not really a single coin, but a type, the gold dinar of the Qarmatian state. The Qarmatians were this radical revolutionary movement that established a state in Eastern Arabia in the 9th and 10th centuries. They were famous for rejecting the authority of the Abbasid Caliph in Baghdad, and even for sacking Mecca. They minted their own coins, often with unique inscriptions that reflected their beliefs. Because their state was eventually crushed, most of their coins were melted down and destroyed. The few gold dinars that survive are incredibly rare and valuable, serving as, a silent testament to this turbulent and rebellious chapter in the region's history. Moving a bit closer to modern times, a key numismatic treasure is the first ever coin to bear the name of Qatar. In 1966, Qatar briefly joined with Dubai to create a new currency, Dubai Dao Sektrain Dao O Rovu, Barmain Jao Akkar and Dubai Rial. The coins issued during this short-lived union are, historic. They represent Qatar's first step toward full monetary independence. The union only lasted for a few years, which makes these coins quite scarce. The 1, 5, 10, 25, and 50 dirham coins from this period are highly prized by collectors, as they mark the birth of Qatar's modern currency and its journey toward becoming a sovereign nation with its own distinct identity. And perhaps the most visually stunning and symbolic modern coins are the commemorative gold and silver issues produced by the Qatar Central Bank today. These aren't intended for everyday circulation, but are created to celebrate major national events like National Day, the hosting of the FIFA World Cup, or significant anniversaries. These coins are, honestly, masterpieces of minting technology, featuring intricate designs that celebrate Qatari culture, architecture, and achievements. They're the modern legends, crafted from precious metals and telling the story of a confident and proud nation on the world stage, creating the treasures of tomorrow for future collectors to seek. The world of coin collecting is filled with wonderful stories of patience, luck, and passion. Many collectors in Qatar and around the world have dedicated their lives to piecing together the nation's history through its currency. One such story tells of a collector who spent years searching for a specific type of Sasanian Arab coin. These were coins minted by Arab governors during the very early Islamic period, who adapted the existing Sasanian coin designs. After years of visiting auctions and contacting dealers, he finally found a perfect specimen that had been discovered by a farmer in a field hundreds of miles away. For the collector, it was like finding the missing piece of a puzzle he had been working on for a lifetime. Another tale whispered among enthusiasts is that of the Dao Hoard. Legend has it that in the 1970s, during the construction boom in Doha, workers dredging the seabed for a new harbor project uncovered the remains of a sunken wooden dhow. Inside, they supposedly found several clay jars filled with thousands of silver coins. The hoard was said to contain a mix of Ottoman coins, Persian laren, and Maria Theresa thalers, a perfect snapshot of a 19th century merchant's wealth. While the exact details of the story are hard to confirm, it captures the imagination of every collector, a reminder that untold treasures from Qatar's trading past may still be lying just beneath the waves. The passion for collecting is often passed down through generations. There are families in Qatar who have been collecting coins for decades. A grandfather might have started the collection with a few Ottoman coins he received as a young man. His son might have added coins from the British Indian and Gulf rupee era. Now, the grandson is a dedicated numismatist, using the internet and international auctions to track down rare Abbasid dinars or Qarmatian dirhams. For these families, the collection is not just a hobby, it is a living family heirloom, a tangible connection to their ancestors and the history of their homeland. Each coin has a story, not just of its minting, but of how it was found and added to the family's legacy. Sometimes, the most interesting stories are about the ones that got away. One collector shared a story of being at a small, dusty antique shop in an old souk. He saw a small bag of old coins for a very low price. He glanced through them but didn't see anything special, and decided not to buy them. A week later, he read an article about a newly discovered, extremely rare variety of a local Umayyad false. The coin in the picture looked exactly like one he had seen in that bag. He rushed back to the shop, but the bag of coins was long gone. That story serves as a lesson for all collectors. Treasure can be anywhere, and knowledge is the key to recognizing it. In the 21st century, the way people collect rare Qatari coins has changed dramatically, yet the thrill of the hunt remains the same. Today's collectors are a global community, connected by the internet. They no longer have to rely on chance finds in local markets. Instead, they use specialized online auction websites, forums, and social media groups dedicated to Islamic and Arabian numismatics. A collector in America can bid on a rare coin that was discovered in the Middle East and is being sold by an auction house in Europe. This global marketplace has made it possible to build comprehensive collections of Qatari coins like never before. The value of a rare coin is determined by several key factors. Rarity is the most important one. How many other examples of this coin are known to exist? A coin like an Abbasid dinar minted in Baghdad might be common, but one minted at a small provincial mint that only operated for a year could be priceless. The coin's condition is also crucial. Collectors use a grading system ranging from poor to mint state. A coin that looks almost as it did the day it was made will be worth many times more than one that is worn, damaged, or has been cleaned improperly. Provenance, which is the history of the coin's ownership, also adds immense value and interest. A coin that was once part of a famous collection or was published in an important academic book has a story that makes it more desirable. Modern collectors meticulously document this history. Furthermore, the historical significance of the coin plays a huge role. A simple copper coin might be worth more than a gold one if it was issued by a short-lived ruler or during a pivotal historical event. For example, a coin from the brief Qatar and Dubai currency union is valuable precisely because it represents a unique and fleeting moment in Qatar's history. For those starting out, the journey into collecting Qatari coins can seem daunting, but it is also incredibly rewarding. Experts advise new collectors to start small. Begin by learning about one specific period, such as the Ottoman era or the Gulf Rupee period. Buy reference books and read articles online. Join a collector's society to learn from more experienced members. The key is to build your knowledge first. The joy of collecting comes not just from owning the coins, but from understanding what they are, where they came from, and the fascinating stories they have to tell about the rich history of Qatar. The rare coins of Qatar are far more than just collector's items or financial investments. They are fundamental pieces of the nation's identity and heritage. For a country that has undergone such a rapid and dramatic transformation in just a few decades, these coins provide a vital, tangible link to a deep and complex past. They prove that long before the discovery of oil and gas, Qatar was not an empty land, but a dynamic and important player in regional trade and politics. Each coin is a piece of evidence, a silent witness that anchors the modern nation in a rich historical narrative. Qatar's leadership and cultural institutions, like Qatar museums, have recognized the immense importance of these numismatic treasures. They have made significant efforts to preserve this heritage for future generations. This includes acquiring important collections of coins from around the world and bringing them back to Qatar. By establishing a national collection, Qatar is ensuring that its own history, as told through its currency, is studied and displayed within the country. These collections form the basis of museum exhibits that educate both Qataris and international visitors about the nation's long and storied past, well beyond the modern era. These coins have also become powerful symbols of national pride. When Qatar mints a new commemorative coin to celebrate an event like the 2022 FIFA World Cup, it is making a statement to the world. The designs often incorporate traditional Qatari symbols, like the oryx, dhows, or iconic architecture, alongside modern imagery. This act of minting is a declaration of sovereignty and cultural confidence. It says that Qatar honors its past while embracing the future. These modern coins become ambassadors, carrying the image and story of Qatar across the globe in the pockets and collections of people everywhere. Ultimately, the study and collection of these coins help to build and reinforce Qatar's national story. For young Qataris, learning about the Sasanian dirhams, Abbasid dinars, and Ottoman kurush that once circulated in their land provides a deeper sense of their roots. It shows them that their home has been a crossroads of civilizations for millennia. The coins are a source of inspiration, demonstrating a history of resilience, adaptation, and connection to the wider world. They are not just metal, they are the memory of a nation stamped in silver and gold, preserving the soul of Qatar for all time. The journey through the history of Qatar's rare coins comes to a remarkable conclusion. We have traveled from the age of Alexander the Great to the gleaming skyscrapers of modern Doha, all guided by these small, metallic storytellers. We have seen how each coin, whether a Greek drachma, a Sasanian dirham, or a modern Qatari rial, adds a new layer to our understanding of this incredible land. They are not just Qatari history, they are world history. They illustrate the interconnectedness of our civilizations, showing how trade, conquest, and culture have always flowed across borders, leaving their mark in the most unexpected of places. The coins of Qatar are a unique gift to the world's heritage. They provide a case study of how a small region, through its strategic location and the resourcefulness of its people, could become a focal point for global interactions. The sheer diversity of coinage found in Qatar is astounding. It is a physical archive of the economic history of the Arabian Gulf and the wider Indian Ocean. For historians, archaeologists, and numismatists, this archive is priceless. It allows them to reconstruct ancient trade routes, understand the influence of empires, and even uncover the existence of forgotten local rulers. The story these coins tell is also one of inspiration. It is a story of survival and transformation. For centuries, the people of the region adapted to the currencies of dominant powers, from the Persians and Ottomans to the British. Then, in the 20th century, they took control of their own economic destiny, creating a currency that is now a symbol of stability and prosperity. This journey, from using foreign coins to minting their own world-class commemorative issues, mirrors the journey of the nation itself. It is a powerful narrative of self-determination and the successful building of a modern state. And so, the next time you see a coin, perhaps you will look at it a little differently. Remember that it is more than just money. It is a survivor. It is a witness. It is a tiny, portable piece of history. The rare coins of Qatar are a particularly potent example of this magic. They are treasures of the desert and the sea, whispers from the past that speak of a nation's soul. They remind us that even in a grain of sand, or a small disc of silver, we can find a story as grand and as fascinating as any ever told. They are Qatar's enduring legacy, a shared treasure for all of humanity.